Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the Never Lose Your Nerd channel. I'm Brandon.
I'm Ishmael.
Okay.
Malachi? Malachi wanted to be in this video. Holy crap. I think this is the greatest episode of TV, maybe anything I've ever seen in my life. It was so freaking awesome. Everything we wanted, a lot of stuff we predicted. Yeah, some stuff we didn't. Yeah, what'd you think?
I actually like this episode more than the last episode, and I like this episode more than this season.
This is the greatest episode of Mandalorian, like I said, probably of TV ever in history. What do you think?
It's good.
Very good. We'll talk about it. Spoilers
Look at
coming
the
up
camera.
next. All right, let's get into it. Only literal note I wrote down is Chapter 16, The Rescue. The rest of the show, I was just like, oh my God, look at everything that's happening. This is awesome.
I thought it was really cool. The first part was really cool.
Yeah, when Boba Fett, they were chasing down Dr. Pershing and the two pilots. It was pretty quick. Boba Fett, he got him trapped pretty fast.
Yeah, and then that poor guy's face got blown off.
Yeah, well, they say they hit him with like an ion cannon. I was not expecting the episode to start like that.
No, I was not.
Definitely not.
Same. Because the way it happened was that he shot him with an ion cannon, right?
Yeah.
Then the two guys were like, that one guy was trying to like say, sorry, please let us go.
Yeah.
But then that guy, the bad guy, just shot him, like just cold-blooded.
Yeah, the one guy was like, I'm not with him. It was the other guy was like, I don't have a death wish. But he was that, because when they got up and changed spots, like the one over here, they like crisscrossed. So the guy that was saying, I don't have a death wish, was actually the one that held the gun on Dr. Pershing's head. So I thought that was kind of ironic that he's the one who actually got killed with the death wish. So actually, you did have a death wish.
Yeah, the guy that said that he didn't want a death wish.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. They captured Dr. Pershing. Like I said, I was expecting this episode was going to start off and we were going to see Dr. Pershing like taking the blood out of Grogu, or maybe they were going to show him like, get the stuff from him, but that didn't happen. It was just implied. But and then we saw, my God, it's so freaking cool. We saw Boba and Din Djarin go get Bo-Katan.
And
I forgot Sasha Banks' character's name. I don't have my phone to look it up, but that was so cool.
it's either like Sadoon.
Where was the guy? The other guy that was with him.
I think he went back to Mandalorian.
Yeah, and it was just so cool. They went to get them, and they had a little standoff. It was cool to have the standoff though with Boba Fett, and then Bo-Katan was making the comments like, "You're not a real Mandalorian," and just a back and forth, because there was stuff in other shows where they were talking about Boba was not a Mandalorian, Jango wasn't, but I guess they changed it where Jango's a foundling, so Boba said he's still a clone though. So I guess the true Mandalorians still don't consider him a true Mandalorian, because he was even saying, I never said I was. He was saying Mandalore is turned to glass, but
I think he was being a little too cocky in this episode. You think so?
well, I think Sasha Banks' character was being pretty cocky too.
Yeah, everybody was being cocky.
When they had the little fight, that was pretty cool. Because she was like holding, when he shot the thing on her wrist, like she was holding it like she was pretty strong, What do you think about that?
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool?
Pretty cool.
So yeah, I thought it was pretty amazing to go get Bo-Katan, pick up some more Mandalorians. I just love that. And then Bo-Katan was, all she cared about was getting the Darksaber. She was like, I want Moff Gideon, has something I want. Basically, we don't know how he got it from her, but he took it from her somehow. So that's all she wants is the Darksaber so she can go back and try to rule Mandalore. And then she was talking to Din Djarin about, maybe after all this is done, you'll reconsider and maybe help me retake Mandalore. Which he doesn't care about anything but getting Grogu back. He even said, just give me the kid back, you can have whatever you want.
Right, and then he actually tricked them. He said, here, take the kid. Then he got the lightsaber.
Well, we're jumping forward. Let's just talk about,
I don't even know where you're at.
I'm talking about in this scene whenever Din Djarin and Boba go get Bo-Katan.
You're still talking about that?
You haven't been listening to me?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm just talking about it because I like that scene, and I'm just talking about everything they talked about. So, what else did you think about that scene? He's not paying
I mean,
attention.
it's not one of my favorite scenes, but
Oh. Well, I freaking loved it. Like I said, I loved seeing Bo-Katan again. It was not how I expected she was going to come in. We had predicted that they were going to get in the fight and maybe they would show up later. But we weren't expecting them to just go pick him up. Maybe he gives her a call or something, and then they show up later, but not literally they go ride with him.
they just go. They ask him, "Come with us."
Yeah.
They said, "All right."
Like I said, that's all Bo-Katan cares about because he was like, we know where Moff Gideon is. We're going to get him. We have his coordinate. She's like, bet, I'm down. Let's go. She was like, you'll never find him. But he was like, no, we know where he's at. So let's go. And then the next scene is whenever it's Boba Fett and he's pretending like he's chasing them.
Yeah, like they're having a chase, and
Yeah.
I guess Bo-Katan was acting like one of the Republic people.
No, they were in the Empire ship.
Yeah, Empire. My bad.
Imperial ship. Yeah, because it was basically just Boba Fett and Dr. Pershing and the Slave One, and then they were chasing everybody else in that ship. So basically, they could board the cruiser. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And then they were like shooting at the TIE fighters, which we've never seen that before.
Yeah, that's like the first time we've ever seen a TIE fighter go and just go.
Yeah, it was like literally they were just being shot out. It's such a small distance too. Whenever they get shot out, it's like there's no distance in between for them. They could just get destroyed when they get shot
They
out.
could just die right there.
Yeah, it's kind of a bad design. It's so small.
I think just the TIE fighters, the way they are, it's just a bad design.
Oh, I love the TIE fighters. They're so
I mean,
cool.
they're cool looking, but like the way it is, doesn't look like they're supposed to fly.
I like Kylo Ren's in the new movies. Were pretty cool, especially Rise of Skywalker. I liked his TIE
But he's
fighter a
dead.
lot. I know, but I'm just saying I liked his TIE fighter
He's dead.
style. But yeah, it was pretty cool how they were like, "No, we need to come. We need to come." They were like, "No, better wait." And they just crashed in there. Like, it was a pretty good landing. And then they got out, started killing everybody. Moff Gideon's like, "Well, prepare the Dark Troopers."
Well, Gideon legit red.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I just legit.
Oh my gosh. It's gonna be my birthday in a couple hours and I'll be 37 and he can't hang. I don't know. He's supposed to be young, but I don't know. So what do you think about what we're talking about? Okay, I guess so. Yeah, like I said, I loved it. I guess we didn't talk about their plan. Dr. Pershing actually had a lot of good information and he actually helped them out a lot because he knew the blueprints. He knew where the Dark Troopers were. He knew where the holding cells where Grogu was going to be. So basically, he helped them map out a plan.
I think he's actually pretty good.
I actually like him. I don't think he's a bad guy because the clones in the beginning weren't supposed to be for evil. They thought they were for the Republic. So, but yeah, he's basically the one that kept Grogu alive. Because Grogu would have been dead if it weren't for him. So actually, I don't think he's a bad guy either. Maybe he'll end up working with the Republic and doing some good.
You think he's gonna be making more clones?
I don't know. That's something we can talk about.
Save for another video.
I guess whenever we get into it later, because yeah, we'll talk about it in a little bit. But yeah, they basically go through, kill all the useless stormtroopers.
Yeah, I mean,
'Cause, yes, they are
there's
useless.
no point for them.
Yeah, there's basically no point for stormtroopers. They're just useless.
Yeah.
And then we finally get to see the Dark Troopers. They're like powering up. Takes like a couple minutes. And wow, it was pretty cool when that Dark Trooper broke through and Din Djarin had to fight him.
Oh yeah, that was actually
God.
pretty cool.
Lucky he has a Beskar on.
Yeah, lucky he had a Beskar helmet because if not, his head would have been crushed.
Yeah. That thing, he literally hit him like 20 times in the head. He was, here you can hear a man, he was like, like he was feeling it, but that helmet definitely saved his life.
That's kind of funny though.
Yeah.
Then at the end, he threw the fire and it didn't even work on him.
Yeah. I mean, the fire actually did help a little bit, but it just didn't do it all the way. And then finally he got the spear out and stabbed it in the neck. And then he sent all the other ones out into space, which is pretty cool. And then he finally found Grogu, but Moff Gideon was there with the Darksaber. because they had already cleared out the whole ship basically, and they had taken over the bridge and everything. Moff Gideon wasn't there, but he was there with Grogu. Had the freaking dark saber to Grogu's head. Poor little Grogu's just in there like.
Grogu looked depressed, but to be honest with you, the dark saber does not look realistic.
Nah, that's hard to pull off that kind of looking saber. Black saber.
Yeah.
The black light is like not natural, anyways. So I mean, it's cool for what it is, but
like the black saber actually looks like an actual sword, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like an actual lightsaber, because you know how lightsabers are like round?
Yeah.
That one's actually like sharp and then like pointed. Looks like a katana.
Basically just like a large knife, looks like.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. And then you thought he did talk about, I got all I wanted, I got the blood. I wonder if that's going to come into play, or like if they can stop that somehow, or did he send it off? Like, because if they have the samples on the ship, obviously they can stop them.
Yeah, but
what do you think?
I don't know.
Because I do think part of I do think part of Grogu's blood is going to be a part of cloning in the future with Snoke, and maybe why how Palpatine came back.
Yeah, probably.
Could be possible. So he probably sent the blood off. Maybe it's like in another location.
You know how they were having the young Yoda things, you know? Like, I think that one's actually going to be... I think they were actually speculating to Grogu when he's older.
What was it again?
Remember those old pictures a while back ago that they had, like, Yoda in his prime?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's actually just Grogu.
Oh, I think that's just concept art for like a young Yoda. Whenever they do the High Republic, like 400 years in the past, that's going to be kind of how he looks, maybe. Maybe. You never know. Yeah, there's so much to talk about. Yeah, we have the fight with Moff Gideon because he was like, just take him. I got all I needed. Just make sure y'all leave. Because Bo-Katan, this is what she wants. Whoever has this sword, controls Mandalore. So basically, he did beat her, I guess. Or somehow he took it. I don't know.
I don't know how he would have beat her if she had like a sword, you know? If she had a sword, how did Moff Gideon beat her? Did he have some Beskar on him or something?
Yeah. I mean, it's still not clear how he got it. So we still don't know. I mean, Bo-Katan hasn't specified anything about, did he take it? Was she defeated? Did he just steal it? We don't know. But yeah, we thought, you can't never trust a bad guy. But he was like, no, go ahead and take him. And then he was like, turned his back, and then he almost killed him. But like I said, the Beskar always comes in to save you.
He actually hit his jetpack. Then it was his helmet.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that fight was pretty cool. Moff Gideon was going hard on him. He was, he had some pretty good hits.
He was just doing heavy attacks.
Yeah, because he said in interviews that he broke the saber a couple times because when they were fighting. So you could kind of tell how they were fighting that, yeah, you could see how that's possible. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was doing pretty good against him, and then it was spear. Of course, the spear came into play. We knew that was going to happen. There's only one reason why that was set up is for him to use it against Moff Gideon.
Which was actually kind of cool. I actually enjoyed using the spear. He actually, if you were looking closely, he did this one move where the spear was like that, and he kicked the bottom of it, and it came up and it hit Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
You saw that part?
I can't say for sure, but I'm sure I did. Just can't remember specifically. But Pedro Pascal is good with the spear because in Game of Thrones, he used the spear a lot with his character. So he knows how to use the spear pretty good. So yeah, Moff Gideon got defeated. Takes him to the bridge. Bo-Katan's waiting there. And then the freaking Dark Troopers come back.
Yeah, that was actually kind of scary too.
Yeah.
And then they went inside the room and they locked the door, right?
Yeah. And
then out of nowhere, it started punching the door, right?
Well, I guess before that, let's talk about Din Djarin was going to give the saber to Bo-Katan because Moff Gideon was talking Moff Gideon was talking all kinds of crap about the dark saber, about how she's going to have to take it from him. He's the rightful leader now because he defeated Moff Gideon, who had it. This doesn't make sense because if you watched Rebels, Sabine gave the Darksaber to Bo-Katan to rule Mandalore. Mm-hmm. She didn't have to fight her. She didn't have to win it. So they're going to have to explain that. It doesn't make sense. What do you think of that? I know you haven't seen Rebels, but what do you think? Because that just changes it.
To me, it actually like sounds pretty cool. Like, sure, they should fight.
I just don't want to cause any strife. Because, man, he was just like, here, have it. I don't want it. I forfeit it. Moff Gideon. I don't think they should listen to Moff Gideon. But she was like, no, he's right. Because he was like, it would be false. But like I said, Rebels, Sabine gave it to Bo-Katan. No problem. They didn't have to fight for it. Maybe we can do a separate video. I'm meant to do some research and watch some other reactors and stuff and see what they say about it. Mm-hmm. Maybe there was something I'm missing. Yeah, I don't think I'm missing anything. I just think somehow they're trying to change it for the show. Mm-hmm. But like I said, if I miss something or if I hear something different, we'll do a video about it. But that just doesn't make sense.
Well, it makes sense to me because I didn't watch the show.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to me.
I mean, it does make sense. Like if somebody challenges you, you have to fight them. And yeah, if you lose, of course, you're going to have to give over the sword. But also they fight to the death. So they should have killed Moff Gideon. But, I mean, there have been people who have been spared, but usually they kill him. So, I don't know. We'll get past that. Yeah, the Dark Troopers come back, and it's just like a big standoff. You could just feel it with the tenseness and just the music, the build-up and everything. It just went on for, like, a while. Like, it would feel like it was, like, a couple minutes. They were just beating on the door. Like I said, the music was getting loud, the tenseness, everybody was ready. But you were like, there's no way they're going to be able to defeat all these things because Mando, it literally took him like 10 minutes to defeat one of them.
Right.
So, what happened next?
Then the best part happened. A random TIE fighter just came out of nowhere.
A what?
A random X-Wing.
X-Wing, yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw the X-Wing, I was like, it has to be Luke. Because they were asking who is it. I think Luke's call sign was like Red 4 or something. I was like, holy crap. If he says Red 4, we know it's Luke. But they kept the mystery. We didn't know who it was. But like I said, we see X-Wing. I had a good feeling it was Luke.
But like, is that before he crashed his X-Wing into that planet?
Yeah, he still had it. This is after 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
But like, how come whenever Rey went back, the thing was still underwater?
This was 30 years later.
What do you mean?
That was 30 years later.
Yeah, but it was...
when he went to hide on the island.
Oh, so technically after Kylo killed all the kids, he went and hid on the island?
You don't remember the movies?
I'm gonna say yes because I don't want you to I don't want to watch them all over again.
But what did you think about? So we talked about the X-wing. Then all of a sudden, it was in black and white. You just saw somebody. At first, I thought it was Ahsoka because the sabers were white. But then, of course, you realize that it was in black and white, and they showed the character, and then the lightsaber was green. You see the gloved hand. You're like, it's Luke.
It's kind of funny. You couldn't tell between black and white.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I just saw the screen at first, and I saw the white sabers. I thought it was Ahsoka. But I was like, I don't know where she would have got an X-wing from, though.
That's true.
So what did you think about the fighting and everything like that?
I think it was, really cool. I don't know. Just Luke in general is cool. And just crushing the robot from the inside, cutting the robots in half, throwing things at the robot.
Yeah.
Just destroying the robot's head by just going zoom.
Yeah, before you knew it was officially Luke, he was just so freaking powerful, just mowing through him just easily. So with the green saber, you were I looked at the hand with the glove, had to be Luke. Killed all the freaking troopers. He got to the door, and it was so cute because Grogu would look at the screen and see who the character, and he would touch the screen, and you were he senses him. He knows it's a Jedi. He was I called and I talked to this fool. I know who he is. I said I got very emotional during this end of this episode. I'll probably get emotional talking about it. So sad. But yeah, he got to the door. Freaking Grogu's so cute. He's like, eh. And then Mando was open the door. They opened the door. And who was it?
It was Luke.
It was freaking Luke.
But it didn't say it was Luke.
They never officially said Luke, but we know it's Luke. But
It looks like Luke.
And I kept looking. I was like, is that Sebastian Stan? But they kind of did something like CGI with his face.
It wasn't him.
But I think it was just straight CGI. I think
It
it was
was.
kind of like what they did with Grand Moff Tarkin.
Because you could tell the dialogue was not matching with the mouth.
And the voice wasn't his. So I was expecting Mark Hamill to do the voice if it was him, but it didn't sound like him at all.
Well, your voice sounds different when you're older.
I know, but it was still Mark Hamill in Return of the Jedi too. But no, it was so freaking awesome. Luke came in. Mando was like, "Are you a Jedi?" He's like, "Yes." But like I said, we never specifically said it was Luke, but we know it's Luke.
Then he said, "Come here, little one."
So freaking cool, man. Oh my god. This is such a great episode. Like I said, we were predicting it. A lot of people had predicted Luke. But until you actually saw it, it was just like, I wasn't believing that it was actually going to happen.
Yeah, I told you it was going to happen, man.
So, yeah, it was just so cool. And then he was like calling Grogu, come here, little one. And he was like, he doesn't trust you. He doesn't know who you are. And he was like, he's wanting your approval. Such a sweet moment with Grogu and Mando. And he took off his helmet.
And Grogu finally touched his face and looked at him.
Oh my gosh, he was so cute. He's like this. Oh, so sweet.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, but it was just so cute. Took off his helmet again, 2 episodes in a row. I think that's going to be a normal thing. He's going to start taking off his helmet.
Yeah, I think so, because everybody already saw his face.
Yeah. Like I said, it was just a sweet moment. And then we saw freaking R2. Made me cry again.
I don't know why you cry whenever you see R2. R2 is just R2.
I love R2.
He's cool, but like, there's no need to cry.
Well, you're not emotionally invested like I am with Star Wars. I've been with Star Wars since I was a kid. I said I've always loved R2. So probably besides Luke in Return of the Jedi, he's like my favorite. I've never liked C-3PO. I've always loved R2. So, but yeah, that was just a cool moment. Grogu touching his face, finally seeing his face. He's like, no, go with him. And you need to be with your kind. He was like, I'll protect him with my life. But that's another thing we need to talk about. If Luke is taking him and he's going to train him, it's a dark thing to think about. But Kylo eventually kills all the people in the academy.
Yeah.
So this is another video we can make later. But what do you think about, do you think Grogu gets killed by Kylo?
No.
God, I hope not. So the other question is, where has Grogu been during the sequel trilogy?
Hideout.
Yeah. Like I said, we'll save that for another video, but
Or he'd be over there at Boba Fett's palace.
we'll talk about that at the end. Kind of cool in credit. I mean, what did you think about everything at the end with Grogu going with
I mean,
with him?
it was nothing. Like, how would I put this? It was nothing too tragic, you know. It was just.
No, it was just all happiness. Happiness and sadness because Grogu is leaving, but it's good that he's going to be with the Jedi who will train him and teach him how to use his powers and everything like that. Because what did Luke say? He won't. Something about it, unless he controls his powers or learns how to use them, he won't be safe or something. I don't remember exactly what he said, but yeah, Mando did say we'll see each other again, which I hope they do, because there's a lot of people that don't really care for Star Wars that much, but they love Grogu, Baby Yoda. So you might lose a lot of people if he's not in the movie, in the show, so maybe they might still show him. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how that'll go.
I think they'll still show him, but like training.
Yeah, I hope so. That'll be awesome. Hope they meet again. Possibly Din Djarin now will go with Bo-Katan. And maybe he will be the leader of Mandalore now.
I think he will, because I don't think Bo-Katan's going to want the lightsaber anymore.
Gosh, it's going to make her so jealous.
It's going to be funny.
It's not going to be funny because Din doesn't want it. He doesn't want to rule Mandalore. All he cared about was Baby Yoda, Grogu, keeping him safe, getting him to the Jedi. He completed his mission.
That's not his priority anymore.
So what do you think his priorities are now?
Bounty hunter, I guess.
You know, I don't know. I think after all this, he's probably changed. So, like I said, my prediction is he'll go with Bo-Katan and try to take back Mandalore. That'll be next season.
I think he's gonna be training with the dark saber.
Yeah, probably, and with the spear. But yeah, I think he's gonna go with Bo-Katan and try to. Maybe we'll get to see Mandalore next season. Will be awesome. Okay. All right. Well, let's get to the end credit scene. Boba Fett goes back to Jabba's palace. Of course, Jabba's dead. I don't remember the fat guy that's there, but he's taken over. And then what happened?
They came down. What's her name?
Fennec Shand?
Fennec Shand comes down, shoots everybody.
Yeah.
Then Boba Fett comes down and then shoots the fat guy.
Yeah. He's like, oh, Boba, thought you were dead. I heard stories. And then, pew!
He died.
Kicks his fat butt out of the chair, sits down. He's ruling Jabba's palace now.
And then obviously they have to show
Pretty
the
cool.
2 sons of Tatooine.
Yeah, as soon as they showed the 2 sons and then they showed the palace, I knew it was Jabba's palace. I know what it looks like. So I was like, oh, holy crap, he's going to go. Well, we didn't know at first.
Who it was. I thought it was Mando for a second, but then I
Yeah.
saw Fennec Shand and it was...
Yeah, we saw the palace and I didn't know what was going to happen at first. But then we saw the guys and see Boba, of course, and he's going to take over. So that's going to be very interesting to see. And then they revealed that it's going to be they're coming out with a book for Boba Fett. You think they'll come out with a show too?
Possibly.
Maybe.
I think that
Live
guy's...
action show?
I think that guy's a little too old, but possibly.
Yeah, so they set that up for a book, possibly a show in the future. So this episode was perfect for me. Best episode, like I said, of the whole series. Probably the best episode of TV I've ever seen in my life. Probably episode of Breaking Bad might be better, but I don't know. Totally loved it. Luke, R2-D2, Grogu, everybody. It was freaking awesome.
This is better than Queen's Gambit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Star Wars. Star Wars.
But like
My
Breaking...
throat is
how,
going.
how does Breaking Bad beat Star Wars?
We'll talk about that
Off
some other
camera.
time.
We'll talk about that off camera.
All right, so what did you think? Like, overall,
I think this show was a 10 out of 10. That's all I have to say.
is this your favorite episode of the whole series?
I
or-
said that in the beginning, yes.
Did you? Okay.
Um,
Yeah, totally loved it. Let us know what y'all think. It's so freaking awesome. I can't wait to watch it 10 more times. Cry 10 more times. I got very emotional.
yep.
Yeah. Well, if you would, please like the video.
Subscribe to our channel.
Hit the bell for notifications.
And see you on the next one.
All right. Bye.
Stay nerdy.